He really thought it was a good idea to call bunch. Hold on, let me show you what I got for you. Let me show you what I got, real fast. You ain't gonna like it. You ain't gonna like it. Messed up, bad read. Give me that one time for the 6. Get him out of here. Give me something else. Give me somebody else. This game's done. It's a wrap. Yo, what is going on, Heat Nation? We're back. So Madden 23 action, and today we are absolutely boxing bunch. One of the more popular formations in Madden that you're going to see in high head-to-head, Ultimate Team, Champions League, and all that good stuff. You're going to see a lot of bunch, and thankfully I got this sauce in order to stop it. So we're going to be going over a handful of offensive plays in bunch, whether it's verticals, which is right behind me, flood, also pretty popular, bunch trail, pretty popular as well, and then any type of play with a corner route such as Z spot and all that good stuff. If you haven't watched the first video, link is going to be in the description. I go over the basics of what I do on the defensive side, whether that's the play and formation and the quick adjustments video that I go over, of course, in that part. Quick adjustments is the best thing you could learn in Madden 22, especially on the defensive side. I go over all of that. Highly recommend you do so before coming into this video, because it is definitely building on it. So of course, we're going to start it off with probably the most popular play in bunch, verticals, and then we are on cover 3 sky on the defensive side. But real fast, for our coaching adjustments, we're going to put flats to 25 because they generalize the corner outside of the field, flood side of the field. They do a very good job. We're going to dive into that a little bit deeper once we get there. We're going to put curl flats to 5. That way, if there is a flat on the field or a drag, they do a pretty good job getting to that vicinity and that zone. And then of course, we are going to put option defense to conservative. I just can't stand running quarterbacks. I like it on conservative. I think there are a couple read options in bunch, so it is something to watch out for and look forward to. But other than that, of course, in part 1, I go over all of this stuff. Highly recommend checking that out, but we're going to be in cover 3 sky. So I apologize, but there's going to be a lot to talk about. I might talk a little bit too fast. If there is something I missed, feel free to let me know, and then I'll try to go over as best as possible. So, I mean, this play is very popular. It's pretty straightforward. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the R1 receiver, you know, he gets over the top of every zone, beats man defense. He has to be manually guarded. So we are going to have responsibility of guarding him. But of course, Hawkinson, the tight end, he also beats every zone in the game as well. So he deserves to be guarded as well. But we can't do both at the same time. But what happens is, if you man up Hawkinson, like I did in my intro part of the video, he will box that up, usually turns into a pick 6. So we have an answer for that, right? And then of course, the third route on the field is going to be DeAndre Swift. Now in practice mode, he kind of dumbs out, runs into his offensive line, does absolutely nothing. But in an online head-to-head game, he gets open on almost every zone because it is an option route. He'll never make the wrong read. Therefore, you're going to have to personally man him up. So of course, we go over that on the offensive side. But now on the defensive side of the football, we are in cover 3. And while in bunch, we do have to kind of go over all the potential route combinations and plays that he can play, or he can call. So he can call verticals, he can call flood, he can call someone with a corner route, and then he can call bunch trail, right? So we kind of have to generalize and prepare for all of those all at once while we are doing our adjustments, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to base the line. I like to base the line because on bunch, this safety will go to that side of the field. And then when he does go to that side of the field, we are going to quick adjust him to put him on a deep half. That way, if there is a streak ran by flood, it is usually ran by the circle receiver Raymond. That way, the safety kind of doesn't get beat over the top. He's there in position to make a play if need be. And then, of course, if there is a corner route, it is going to be this cornerback's responsibility. And we put our flats to 25. So we're going to put him on a flat, and then boom, he's going to be going 25 yards down the field. If there's a corner out, he's going to play it. He's going to box it up, intercept it, right? But right now in verticals, that tight end gets open on his wheel route. So what we're going to do is we're going to man him up. So boom, we have effectively taken care of almost all the route combinations on that side of the field. We have the tight end taken care of. We've got the corner route taken care of. We've got the streak taken care of. And now all we have to do is, if he does call verticals, is we have to take care of Amon-Ra St. Brown on that crosser. But of course, on the opposite side of the field, we have to worry about the running back. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this safety right here, and we're going to manually man him up with DeAndre Swift. So now it doesn't matter if he's on an option route, he's taken care of on whichever option that running back happens to call. So I'm going to call hike. I'll try to do both at the same time, play defense and offense, and we're just going to manually go. We're going to go, nothing's open, and then of course comes in with a sack. So I'll try not to waste everybody's time too much, but I'll hit replay mode real fast. So of course, you know, we're going to assume that I'm doing a better job guarding Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's going to be boxed. And then of course, if he's to throw that right there, this linebacker, which if you are on nickel over G, usually you have safeties in the linebacker position, especially in Ultimate Team. He's going to be there to box it up, just like in my intro video he did that. And then of course right here, boxed up right there. And then let's go over to the running back, and right there, if he throws that, usually that might be a 2-yard gain, if not a jumped interception. And by then, usually he's kind of on his back, the quarterback I'm talking about here. And I mean, verticals is pretty straightforward to stop. Verticals is pretty straightforward to stop. I really enjoy it when my opponent calls it. I feel like, boom, easy win whenever my opponent does it. I'll just do it one more time just to show it's not a fluke. Right there, and you know, a sack usually by then. Okay, so I called flood already, and we're still going to be in cover 3 sky, but when we know our opponent is going to call flood, or if he's called it multiple times and we feel like, oh, this is his go-to play for this scenario, we're going to put our flats to either 20, or if you want to get incredibly aggressive, we're going to put him to 15. Now 15, if he calls flood 99.99999% of the time, it's going to be a pick 6. But if he does call a corner route or some sort, then of course he's going to get over the top of that flat zone, and then you might be in a little bit of trouble. So I kind of like to leave it at 20. That way he's in between both. That way, you know, if he calls one, I'm not totally screwed. If he calls the other one, I'm not totally screwed. And then he is in position to make both plays. It's not a guarantee 100% box, but he's in position for both, which is it's a safe zone. I kind of like it right there. I'm going to leave it at 20, and then of course you guys can make that decision for yourselves. So of course we got that streak, which is why we have that deep half. So we consider that taken care of. We got that 20-yard flat right here by Snead. So we're going to consider that taken care of. And then of course we have the tight end manned up, so if he goes on the flat, he's taken care of. Now we have 2 flats going to the flat on this play, whether that's the manned up tight end or the safety read. Technically, you know, there's 2 people going to the flat now if Hawkinson's on there, but we're going to accept that 2 people going to one spot, because you need to have the tight end manned up, right? The tight end needs to be manned up in case he does run verticals. So if he does, you know, we're prepared. If he doesn't, then it's fine. We can handle that. We can make adjustments otherwise, or we have made our adjustments otherwise to kind of prepare for that. So we're going to keep our running back manned up. And I mean, we're set up exactly how we are if we were to deal with verticals. But, you know, of course, we just lowered our flat zone down 5 yards. Other than that, it's the same exact adjustments. But what we're going to do is we're going to be just guiding Amon-Ra St. Brown for the moment, passing him off to the corner, and then we're going to buzz back to the middle of the field in order to cover that backside in route. It's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. I think I get 90% of my interceptions in bunch when they call flood from the backside in route, because they're so tunnel visioned on that flood concept on that side. But once they kind of get a hint of the user there, they automatically just turn their face going for that backside in route. So we're going to call hike, and then of course we're going to lead, pass them off, and then to the backside in route we go. Now of course, you know, I can't exactly hold sprint, run across the field properly with one hand on the controller while calling hike, but you guys get the gist. I'm going to lead here, boom. I forgot to man up the running back. He would be in there. But it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, that, you know, there's not much the opponent can do once you do call something like this and make these type of adjustments. Pass off, and then back to the backside in route. There's nothing the opponent can do on this play. This is a pick wherever he throws it. And of course, that are the adjustments of why I do it. So now we're going to hop into bunch trail. This one can be a little bit more on the annoying side, but it's still very easily stoppable. So bunch trail can get a little bit more on the annoying side, because one, we're still going to be manning up the middle linebacker with the tight end, but the tight end will beat man defense on his angle route. So that becomes a little bit more of a redundant route, but we have to keep the manned up tight end in case he does run verticals, because we would rather him gain 5 to 10 yards than to gain 20 to 30 yards on that vertical route. So we're going to keep him manned up. And then of course, we're going to be doing all the same normal adjustments on the defensive side. So we'll do that right now. We'll just get it set up. Except if we know he's going to call bunch trail, he's done it multiple times, there's going to be one small variation. What we're going to do is we're not going to man up the running back, but we're also going to flip their assignments right here. So we're going to put this slot safety right here. We're going to put him on a curl hook. and then we're going to put this middle linebacker on a flat. So we just kind of inverted them real fast. And why we did that is because the middle linebacker does a little bit better job of playing that flat, the drag coming across the field, rather than this safety. He kind of drifted in no man's land a little bit, while this middle linebacker kind of does a better job going across the field with him. And then of course we still want to user somebody, so technically we don't have to put him on a hook. We're still going to user him, but just for the visualization of this play, you know, I put him on a hook right there. And then you're going to first lead the drag here, pass him off to the middle linebacker, and then you're going to bust back to the middle of the field to play that angle route. Now that was a lot to go over in one moment, but of course it'll all make sense once you execute it. Now on the offensive side, as I pick up the controller, there is a corner route, which means that 25-yard corner route, 25-yard flat, still going to be incredibly important. It's going to be there to stop that as well. So I mean, it's not a completely redundant adjustment. It's still, everything has a meaning, everything has a purpose. So we're going to call hike. We're going to start off with the drag, and then we're going to lead back to the angle route. Now of course, in practice mode, our players aren't the best with zones, so Bolton here still booked it to the opposite side, but in a head-to-head game, ultimate team game, all that good stuff, he'll kind of do a much better job making sure he takes care of that drag route. So we're going to do those adjustments again real fast, boom boom, and then we're going to put Bolton on that drag route. I won't put myself on a hook just because it's not necessarily necessary. We're going to call hike. We're going to start off with the drag, and then bust back to the angle route. Everything else is pretty boxed on that play. Not much our opponent can do. Now, if you really want to get spicy with it, you can take this safety right here, and then you can manually man him up with that drag route if you want to still have the running back manned up, just like that. And then if you want to keep normal adjustments, you can do something like this, where you can man up this slot receiver with that outside wide receiver, still have the tight end manned up, still have the running back manned up, still got that flat, still got that deep zone. And then of course you can handle the middle of the field yourself, just like that. Boom, taken care of. And then just take the easy sack. It's really that straightforward when it comes to bunch defense. I really enjoy playing against bunch. I think to myself usually, oh, automatic win when I see bunch defense. Hopefully after seeing this video, applying it, getting used to it. I know it's a lot of information all at once, but I think this information is really good compared to, or coming from somebody that is always in legendary division, competing for Super Bowls, high-end Champions League, consistent 15+ wins if I even decide to finish it. Usually once I hit 15, I kind of get bored and stop playing, all that good stuff. But that is going to be this video. If there is a specific formation that you want me to go over and stop, feel free to let me know in the comments. A lot more offensive tips are going to be coming out pretty soon, and including some gameplays. I haven't really done gameplays this year. I really enjoy that editing aspect of it, of Madden. So those are going to be coming out pretty soon. If you really enjoy this stuff, hey, feel free to like, subscribe, and then of course let me know how all that goes. But other than that, hey, good luck everybody.